It's Trends O'Clock. This is Trends KE with KK Cedric.
I, for the first time in my life, was a state guest at Kamkunji police station. The second thing I want to say is that I know Bwana Kinoti is but a poodle who has masters. I'm going to address his masters. His masters sent him in 2017 to harass my family for 3 days, to purport that I want to overthrow the government of Kenya after an election that had been nullified by the High Court. And since then, they have not stopped. Up until today, his own sister, Ruth Odinga, is still in court fighting an incitement charge. He left her behind to eventually come and tell us that his sole purpose for seeking Azimio presidency is to...
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and it depends on where you are watching us from. It's nice to have you. How are you doing? Thank you very much for tuning into the Alternative Voice. This is Trends KE, and my name is KK Cedric. It's another night, another show, and we are here to talk about what has been happening in Kenya around the circles of politics. And tonight we are discussing elusive justice. What is actually happening with our justice systems, especially around the time of politicking. You will realize that in many cases, there are cases that come up carried with emotions, especially around the politicking time, where things happen and people make decisions in the political spaces and make as well statements which they end up going with the political wave. Once the wave ends, that is it, nothing else is done, and we don't actually follow up to know whether these people are talking about something that is real, or were they just talking so that they can score a political statement somewhere. This is an instance of, course, in as much as the case is still under investigation and is still a case in court that is still in the court proceedings. It's about Jimmy Wanjigi, who was arrested, and it's pertaining a matter to do with land that they bought with his wife. That case is still in court, although the courts barred him from being arrested. So I want you to weigh into this matter that we are discussing tonight. That where does it leave you as a Kenyan when you realize that there are things that get carried by emotions many a times, and it's just because of the politics of the moment. Once that moment has ended, that is it. Nothing else will be told about that case. It just goes quiet. People change, politics of the day change. For instance, right now, as it was in 2017, Raila Odinga, the former prime minister, was actually in the house of Jimmy Wanjigi, purportedly during that time that Jimmy Wanjigi's house was being raided in 2017. But now he's actually on the other side, and Jimmy Wanjigi ends up calling him names because of that. Now he can't defend Jimmy Wanjigi because he's on the side of the government, purportedly. And that's what sets the question of what we are discussing tonight. Where does it leave you as a Kenyan in understanding how the court systems are working to make sure that there is justice in everything that is being undertaken? Is it even a matter of courts and justice being taken? Is it even a matter of something real that did happen, or is it just a matter of let's build a case, let's get this going, and then people will make noise about it, and at the end of the day, that will be it. I want to play you one clip of something else that has to do with this as well. And I don't know if you recall this.
Kiingereza mingi mnafanyia catwalk hapa around, na ni wazi pesa ya umma imepotea. Mwenye hiyo pesa anasema aliweka kwa gunia. Sasa jameni, kweli dunia hii, we must be honest with ourselves.
Catwalk na kizungu mingi. That was the deputy president then talking about Anne Waiguru in the case of NYS. Was it NYS 1 or NYS 2? The case that was involving a lady who it was said she was carrying a lot of money in bags and ferrying it to different destinations. Right now, Anne Waiguru is in the camp of UDA with the deputy president. That story ended. I don't know if it's still in court. Not sure about that. But then that gist that was in the story then, at that political time, it has gone, and nobody is talking about it as they were talking about it then. So they have all thrown it under the rug. So it beats logic, because the leaders we elect are supposed to be leaders who are truthful to their word, and also to be following the law to a certain extent. That's why I will ask this question. Do you think that it is in the spirit of the leadership of the country to make sure that everybody they associates with is clean? Because someone will call another on this name pertaining a case that is concerned with them today, but once they are on their side, they forget about that. And when you talk about it, they'll tell you this is a case that is supposed to be in court. This is a matter that's supposed to be prosecuted. When you go to the legal fraternity, they'll tell you that this person is considered to be innocent until they are proven guilty by way of evidence that is given in a court of law. But then when it's a political time, a political moment, the politicians will make statements that entirely suggest, depending on the side on which these politicians are, the statements that entirely suggest that this person is actually guilty of this thing that they are said to have done. It's a matter of trying to insinuate that this person is guilty until proven innocent. That's how one side takes it. The other side will take it as this person is innocent until proven guilty. So they start playing politics with a matter that is supposed to be under courts and under investigations. Then it brings in the public. The public talks a lot. Then what next? What comes after that? People will shake hands, they will come to one side, and you as a citizen will be left in the middle of everything wondering, was this even a thing, or were they just creating things out of the air that are happening? Same thing happening to Miguna, the cases that have been there with very many other people that are on the right side once, on the wrong side the second time. The same person will defend one person this time, then the next moment when the political wave changes, they start saying this person is wrong. You'll remember the people who are not speaking, actually not speaking, even keeping silence is also passing information about anything. At the time that Jimmy Wanjigi's house was raided at night in 2017, the people who kept quiet are right now actually behaving like the real lawyers of Jimmy Wanjigi. They are defending him with everything. Then it beats logic totally on how our politics work with the justice system. That's why I want to ask you, do you think that the politicians have any role to play in determining matters to do with justice, especially in matters that have a high octane, as in it's talked about mostly in the public quarters? Do you think politicians have a say as to the morality or whatsoever of these things that are done, and then they are in the public domain about someone having done this or not done that, and then being case in court. I want to hear what you think about this matter, and we shall be carrying on. So, how did we get into politics about the Jimmy Wanjigi story in the first place? Those, including Jimmy Wanjigi himself, thinks that the statement he made in Yatta on a political platform where he was being hosted by former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka is actually what got him into this. So let's listen in to what he was saying at that event.
Kwa sababu namjua. I got to know him in 1991. He is my friend. He is my friend. And he has not done anything wrong to me, rafiki yangu. Lakini ule mimi naona siku hizi kwa TV. Sio Sio Leta niseme ukweli. Ule namwonanga kwa TV akizungumza, akitembea, akipigana na wengine. Huyo si Raila ambao mimi namjua. Sijui ni nani amemshika ama ni nini imeingia kwake. That is not the Raila ambao alipigania ukombozi wa demokrasia ya nchi. Huyo si yeye. Huyo si Raila.
He has ended up putting that the statement that he made, and the fact that he has decided that he won't be supporting Raila but will be contesting on ODM to get the ticket as the presidential candidate in the August poll is actually what has cost him all these chaos. He has even ended up calling Raila Odinga names as Judas Iscariot. He has gone to bed with the master whom we were opposing the other time. So that's actually what he's saying all this is about. But we are not actually just focusing on the case of Jimmy Wanjigi. I have mentioned to you the other case about Anne Waiguru. It had a heated debate at the time. NYS 1 was happening, NYS 2 was happening. But then because of politics, if you check what happens in the Senate during the impeachment motions, at the time when he was on the side of the president, the people who defended him then would actually right now take him to the hanging if that was a thing that can be done, because they are no longer on the same side. That's why we are trying to really find as to whether the politics that happen around judicial matters is actually anything to go by. Thank you very much for those of you who have tuned into the show, and we just had a brief discussion. I'll be reading some of your comments and also your concerns, and thank you very much for tuning into the show. There are people who just always tune into the show and never miss the discussion, and here they are. Thank you very much for tuning in to the show. Alex Onsase watching from Nairobi. Asante sana Onsase. Thank you very much for tuning in. Who else tuned? JL Empire is always tuned into the show. Asante sana JL Empire. Don Apple Jaka, that's our producer there all the way from India. When you join politics, expect such hurdles regardless. They know themselves better. And Kagigo Mwalida, ndugu toka Tanzania, anasema vipi? Kenyan politics ni tricky sana. Huwezi amini hata you can't even trust your own running mate. Things change. They say when to be changing very fast. And Jimmy nailed it though. That's Don tuned in all the way from India, Kochi, India. Thank you very much, Don, and every one of you who has tuned into this discussion. And so much is happening around politics, and politics, as someone has said there, you never know. Anything can happen with you, around you. Today, you will be laughing with someone. Once you change your position, you don't know what will be coming your way. And we are just waiting to see as well in the circles of politics. We have been told that we should brace ourselves. On Sunday, there will be a heavy earthquake. You should stay indoors, somewhere stay on high places because the earthquake is coming. I'm talking about an announcement by another former deputy president or vice president, that's Musalia Mudavadi, saying he will be shaking the earth around here with a political statement that he will be making on Sunday. So we wait and see on which side of the political divide that statement will be putting him, whether he is deciding to go the hustler way or the Azimio way. Is a matter that we shall be waiting to see, and also see the consequences that come with it in the political spheres. We have just had that brief discussion. Next week, we have a very great show lined up and discussion. Look out for next week, Thursday, at the same time, The Alternative Voice. Please follow our platforms and refer your friends as well. So for now, bye-bye. See you next week. Thank you very much for tuning into this discussion.